Most people don't realize that some U.S. state quarters are worth thousands of dollars today. Rare state quarters like the 2004 Wisconsin Extra Leaf Quarter, the 1999 Delaware Spitting Horse Quarter, and valuable era state quarters from Georgia and Connecticut are highly sought after by collectors. These valuable quarters became rare due to minting mistakes, limited era circulation, and strong collector demand. Many of these coins were released into everyday circulation, meaning you could still find one in your pocket change. Before spending your quarters, carefully check for unusual details, extra lines, or missing elements, because one rare state quarter could turn a simple 25-cent coin into a life-changing find. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter might look like just another common coin, but what many people don't realize is that this quarter belongs to one of the most historic and most collected coin programs in United States history. And if you have one in your pocket, drawer, or old coin jar, you could be holding a piece of American history that collectors are still actively searching for today. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1999 Georgia State Quarter, its design, meaning, eras, varieties, mint marks, value potential, and why this coin continues to attract attention decades after it was released. The Georgia State Quarter was officially released in 1999 as part of the very first year of the United States 50 State Quarters program. This program changed coin collecting forever. Before 1999, many Americans never paid attention to the coins in their pockets. But once the state quarters began rolling out, millions of people across the country started saving coins, searching for rare varieties, and building collections for the first time. Georgia was one of the original 5 states released in that historic first year, which already gives this quarter special importance. Georgia officially entered the Union on January 2, 1788, making it the 4th state to ratify the Constitution. This long and rich history is clearly reflected in the design chosen for the Georgia Quarter. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll immediately notice the outline of the state of Georgia. Inside that outline is a peach, which is the state's most famous symbol. Georgia is widely known as a peach state, and the peach on the coin represents agriculture, growth, and prosperity. Surrounding the design are live oak sprigs, which symbolize strength and endurance. Beneath the design, you'll see the state motto, wisdom, justice, moderation, words that date back to Georgia's early government and continue to define the state's values. The obverse side of the 1999 Georgia Quarter features a familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. This design had been used on quarters since 1932, and it remained consistent across all state quarters. The inscriptions include United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination quarter dollar. While the obverse design stayed the same across the series, collectors often focus on strike quality, mint marks, and errors found on this side. Now let's talk about mint marks, because this is where things start to get interesting for collectors. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter was produced at 3 different locations. Coins with a P mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. Coins with a D mint mark were struck in Denver. And special proof versions were produced in San Francisco with an S mint mark. The vast majority of Georgia quarters you'll find in circulation today will have either a P or D mint mark, while the proof versions were made specifically for collectors and were never intended for everyday use. Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of Georgia quarters in 1999, making it one of the highest minted coins of the year. Denver also produced a very large number, though slightly fewer than Philadelphia. Because of these high mintages, most circulated examples are still worth face value. However, value changes dramatically when condition, errors, or special varieties come into play. Condition is one of the most important factors when it comes to coin value. A heavily circulated Georgia quarter with worn details is generally worth only 25 cents. But as condition improves, value begins to rise. Coins that were saved early, never circulated, and still retain strong detail, original luster, and clean surfaces are far more desirable. High-quality uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, especially when demand is high among collectors completing full state quarter sets. One of the biggest reasons the 1999 Georgia Quarter remains popular is the presence of mint errors and die varieties. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process, and they can significantly increase a coin's value. Some Georgia quarters were struck with off-center designs, where part of the image is missing or shifted. Others show doubled lettering, where letters or numbers appear slightly doubled due to die misalignment. These errors are highly collectible and can sell for many times face value depending on how dramatic the error is. Another error collectors look for is die cracks. Die cracks occur when the metal die used to strike the coin begins to crack from heavy use. These cracks transfer onto the coin as raised lines. Some Georgia quarters show noticeable die cracks running through the design, sometimes across the state outline, the peach, or the lettering. While minor cracks may not add much value, strong and clearly visible die cracks are very popular with error collectors. Clipped planchets are another rare but valuable error found on some Georgia quarters. A clipped planchet happens when the metal blank isn't cut properly before striking, resulting in a coin with a missing section along the edge. These errors are easy to spot and often command strong prices because they are visually dramatic and easy to authenticate. There are also cases of wrong planchet errors, where a Georgia quarter was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different coin. These errors are extremely rare and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the specifics. While most people will never encounter one, they do exist and are part of what keeps collectors searching through rolls of quarters even today. Proof versions of the 1999 Georgia quarter deserve special attention as well. These coins were struck with specially prepared dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Proof Georgia quarters were never released into circulation and were sold directly to collectors as part of annual proof sets. While common proof examples are relatively affordable, flawless or deeply mirrored examples are always in demand. Another factor that adds long-term interest to the Georgia quarter is its place in the first year of the state quarters program. Coins from 1999 tend to receive more attention than later issues because they mark the beginning of a historic era in U.S. coinage. Many collectors focus specifically on completing full 1999 sets, and Georgia is a key part of that group alongside Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The cultural and historical symbolism on the Georgia quarter also contributes to its popularity. The peach is instantly recognizable, even to people who aren't serious coin collectors. The state outline and oak branches give the design a balanced, clean look that many collectors find appealing. Compared to some later state quarter designs, Georgia's design is often praised for being simple yet meaningful. If you're searching for valuable Georgia quarters, checking your change is still worth the effort. While most will be common, finding a sharply struck uncirculated coin or genuine mint error can turn an ordinary quarter into a valuable collectible. Coin roll hunting remains popular because state quarters were produced in such large numbers that undiscovered gems still exist. Storage and handling also matter. If you believe you found a high-quality Georgia quarter, avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers. Oil from your skin can damage the coin over time. Store it in a protective holder to preserve its condition and potential value. Did you know that a single quarter from your pocket could represent one of the most iconic states in American history and still be worth more than face value today? In this video, we're diving deep into the 2001 New York State quarter, a coin millions of Americans have seen, spent, and ignored, yet one that carries powerful history, unique design details, and hidden value potential that many collectors overlook. If you've ever wondered whether your New York quarter is special, rare, or valuable, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. The 2001 New York State quarter was released as part of the United States 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful and widely collected coin programs in U.S. history. This program began in 1999 and featured one new state design every few months, honoring each state in the order they joined the Union. New York, as the 11th state to ratify the Constitution, was honored with its own quarter in 2001, and it quickly became one of the most talked-about designs in the entire series. At first glance, the New York State quarter stands out immediately. The reverse design features a bold outline of the state of New York, with a striking depiction of the Statue of Liberty positioned proudly in the foreground. This instantly recognizable symbol represents freedom, opportunity, and the gateway through which millions of immigrants entered the United States. The design also includes the inscription "Gateway to Freedom," a phrase that perfectly captures New York's role in American history. What many people don't realize is that the placement of the Statue of Liberty is not random. It slightly overlaps the outline of the state, symbolizing New York's influence not just within its borders, but across the entire nation. This thoughtful design choice makes the coin visually powerful and historically meaningful, which is one reason it remains popular among collectors even today. The obverse side of the 2001 New York State Quarter features a familiar portrait of George Washington. While this design was common across all state quarters, subtle differences in strike quality and surface detail can make certain coins more desirable than others. Washington's portrait, the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the minting year are all important areas to examine when evaluating condition of the coin. Now let's talk about minting, because this is where value potential really begins to appear. The 2001 New York State Quarter were produced at 3 different U.S. mints. Coins were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced coins with slight differences, and knowing where your quarter was made can make a big difference. Philadelphia minted quarters were produced in extremely large numbers, reaching into the hundreds of millions. Denver also produced a massive quantity, making both of these versions very common in circulation. However, San Francisco minted coins were produced specifically for collectors and were not released into everyday circulation. These coins typically have sharper details, cleaner surfaces, and stronger strikes. Even though the Philadelphia and Denver versions are common, not all circulated coins are equal. Coins that escaped heavy wear, scratches, and damage can still hold collectible value, especially when they show strong detail on the Statue of Liberty, clean lettering, and minimal surface marks. Many collectors search through rolls and pocket change looking for high-quality examples of this exact coin. One of the most exciting aspects of the 2001 New York State Quarter is the possibility of errors and varieties. Error coins are a major reason why everyday quarters can suddenly become valuable. Some known errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, clip planches, and weak or missing details. While these errors are not common, they do exist, and when found, they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Another thing to look for is doubling on the inscriptions or design elements. This can appear on the lettering, the Statue of Liberty, or the outline of the state. Even minor doubling can attract collector interest, especially if it is clearly visible without magnification. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining value. A heavily worn quarter that has lost most of its detail will usually be worth face value. However, coins that retain sharp lines, clean fields, and original shine are far more desirable. Uncirculated examples, especially those that were stored carefully, can sell for several times their face value depending on demand. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. On the New York Quarter, areas like Liberty's torch, the folds of a robe, and the fine edges of the state outline are key indicators. Weak strikes can make these details appear flat, while strong strikes bring the design to life. Beyond monetary value, the 2001 New York State Quarter holds cultural and historical significance that adds to its appeal. New York has long been considered the heart of American commerce, culture, and immigration. Featuring the Statue of Liberty on a circulating coin was a powerful statement, and for many Americans, this quarter carries emotional and patriotic value. This coin also marked a shift in how everyday people viewed pocket change. The State Quarters program encouraged millions of Americans to start collecting, searching, and learning about coins. Many collectors today trace their interest in numismatics back to coins like the New York State Quarter. If you're checking your own quarters at home, pay close attention to the mint mark, surface condition, and overall appearance. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can actually reduce its collectible value. Instead, store it safely and compare it with other examples to better understand its quality. Over the years, demand for state quarters has remained strong, especially for coins with high appeal, errors, or pristine condition. While most New York quarters won't make you rich overnight, the right example can still be worth keeping, trading, or adding to a collection. The 2001 New York State Quarter is a perfect example of how modern coins can still be exciting, meaningful, and collectible. It represents history, artistry, and the idea that even the smallest pieces of currency can tell a powerful story. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to look at coins differently, this quarter deserves a closer look. Before you spend your next quarter, take a moment to check the date, the design, and the details. You never know what you might find hiding in plain sight. If you enjoy learning about U.S. coins, rare quarters, and hidden values, make sure to stay tuned for more deep dives into American coinage. Have you ever looked closely at a simple U.S. quarter in your pocket and wondered if it might be hiding a deeper story, historical meaning, or even unexpected value? Today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins of the United States Mint, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand its design, history, minting details, and collector demand, you'll never see it the same way again. Stay with me until the end, because many people overlook small details on this quarter that can make a big difference to collectors. The Connecticut State Quarter was released in 1999 as part of the historic 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever launched in the United States. This program began in 1999 and continued through 2008, releasing 5 new state quarters each year in the order the states joined the Union. Connecticut holds a special place in American history, and its quarter reflects that pride and heritage perfectly. Connecticut became the 5th state to join the United States on January 9, 1788, which is why it was among the very first states honored in the quarter series. The 1999 Connecticut Quarter was officially released into circulation on October 12, 1999, and millions of Americans encountered it almost immediately in their everyday change. At the time, few realized how significant this coin would become for collectors and history lovers alike. The most striking feature of the Connecticut State Quarter is its reverse design, which showcases a famous charter oak tree. This tree is one of the most powerful symbols in Connecticut history. The charter oak represents freedom, independence, and resistance to tyranny. According to legend, in 1687, Connecticut colonists had the colony's royal charter inside the hollow of this oak tree to protect it from being seized by English authorities. This powerful story of defiance and self-governance is immortalized on the coin. The image of the charter oak on the quarter is detailed and bold, with wide branches spreading across the reverse side. Above the tree, the word Connecticut is clearly inscribed, while below it you will see the year 1788, honoring the year Connecticut became a state. The phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is also included, reinforcing the unity of the states. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the familiar portrait of George Washington, which appears on all modern U.S. quarters. This version of Washington's profile was updated slightly for the State Quarters program, giving the coin a fresh but classic appearance. Around the portrait are the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination quarter dollar. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter was produced at 2 major U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark, while coin from the Denver Mint feature a small D near Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. Both versions were released in massive numbers, which is why these quarters are still commonly found in circulation today. Despite their high mintage, not all Connecticut quarters are the same in the eyes of collectors. Condition, strike quality, and minting anomalies play a huge role in determining desirability. Some examples show sharper details in the leaves and bark of the charter oak, while others appear softer or worn due to heavy circulation. Collectors often search through rolls of quarters looking for the best preserved specimens. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1999 Connecticut Quarter is a variety of mint errors and striking irregularities that exist. While errors are not extremely common, they do exist, and when found, they can attract serious attention. Off-center strikes, double details, weak strikes, and unusual surface marks are among the things collectors examine closely. Even a small anomaly can make a standard quarter far more interesting. The metal composition of the 1999 Connecticut Quarter follows the standard modern quarter formula. It is made of a copper core layered between 2 outer claddings of copper nickel. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters. While it does not contain precious metals, its value lies in its historical importance and collectible appeal rather than intrinsic metal worth. The release of the Connecticut Quarter played a major role in sparking nationwide interest in coin collecting. Millions of Americans, including children and first-time collectors, began saving state quarters as they were released. For many people, the Connecticut Quarter was one of the first coins they ever intentionally set aside, making it a nostalgic piece a day. Collectors often look for Connecticut quarters that show minimal wear, strong luster, and clean surfaces. Coins that were pulled from circulation early or stored carefully tend to stand out. Over time, Even common coins can become harder to find in pristine condition, which is why demand remains steady among collectors who want to complete high-quality state quarter sets. Another factor that adds appeal to the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is its storytelling power. Unlike some coins that feature abstract symbols, this quarter tells a real historical story tied to a specific place and event. The charter oak isn't just a tree, it's a reminder of early American resistance, local pride, and the roots of democratic ideals in the United States. From an educational perspective, this coin is often used in classrooms and history discussions to connect students with early colonial America. Coins like the Connecticut Quarter serve as miniature history lessons, circulating through countless hands while carrying stories from centuries ago. As time goes on, interest in the state quarters program continues to evolve. While many coins remain common, collective focus has shifted toward quality, varieties, and preservation. The Connecticut Quarter remains an essential piece in any complete state quarter collection, especially for those who appreciate early American history. If you're checking your pocket change or sorting through old coin jars, the 1999 Connecticut Quarter is worth a closer look. Examine the details of the charter oak, the clarity of the inscriptions, and the overall condition. Even if it's not rare, it represents a significant chapter in U.S. numismatic history. In the broader world of coin collecting, the Connecticut State Quarter stands as a symbol of how everyday money can carry extraordinary meaning. It reminds us that even the smallest object we handle daily can be connected to powerful stories of freedom and identity. As more collectors revisit the state quarters era, coins like the 1999 Connecticut Quarter continue to gain appreciation for their design, symbolism, and role in reviving public interest in U.S. coinage. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this coin deserves a place in your collection. Before you dismiss any quarter as ordinary, remember that history often hides in plain sight. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is proof that a simple coin can represent centuries of struggle, independence, and pride, all captured in a single design that fits in the palm of your hand. Did you know that a simple pocket change coin from 2004 could tell the entire story of America's agricultural heartland and still be searched by thousands of collectors every single month? Today we're taking a deep dive into the Iowa State Quarter, released in 2004 as part of the legendary United States 50 State Quarters program. This coin is more than just spare change. It represents farming, freedom, history, and one of the most iconic quotes ever placed on a U.S. coin. If you ever found a 2004 Iowa quarter in your wallet or coin jar, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. The Iowa State Quarter was officially released in 2004 as a 29th coin in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Iowa joined the Union on December 28, 1846, and its quarter was released to honor the state's rich agricultural legacy and its role in shaping the nation's food supply. Millions of Americans encountered this coin in everyday circulation, making it one of the most recognizable state quarters ever issued. The reverse design of the 2004 Iowa quarter immediately stands out. At the center of the coin, you'll see a one-room schoolhouse set against a wide, open farmland landscape, symbolizing education, tradition, and rural values. In the background, rolling fields stretch across the horizon, reminding us that Iowa is one of the most productive agricultural states in the United States. Above the design is a powerful inscription, Foundation in Education, a phrase that captures Iowa's long-standing commitment to learning and community growth. What truly makes this coin iconic is a quote inscribed on it, Foundation in Education. These words were inspired by a famous quote from President Herbert Hoover, who was born in Iowa. Hoover once said that the foundation of every state is the education of its youth, and this philosophy perfectly aligns with Iowa's values. This makes the 2004 Iowa Quarter one of the most meaningful state quarters ever released, combining history, philosophy, and national identity in a single design. The obverse, or front, of the Iowa Quarter features a familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. This design was used throughout the entire state quarters program and remains one of the most recognized coin portraits in U.S. history. Surrounding Washington's image are the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, and In God We Trust, along with the denomination $quarter. The year 2004 appears prominently, marking the coins released during the height of the state quarters collecting boom. The Iowa State Quarter was minted at two major U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver display a small D mint mark. Both versions were released into general circulation and were widely used across the country. Because of this massive distribution, the Iowa Quarter remains easy to find today, especially in circulated condition, but that doesn't mean it lacks collector interest. The total mintage numbers for the 2004 Iowa Quarter are substantial, with hundreds of millions produced between the two mints. This high production ensured that the coin was readily available for everyday transactions, helping introduce millions of Americans to the state quarters program. Even today, collectors often search through rolls of quarters hoping to find Iowa coins in exceptional condition or with interesting mint characteristics. One reason the Iowa State Quarter remains popular among collectors is its clean, balanced design. The combination of the schoolhouse, farmland, and powerful inscription creates a timeless image that resonates with both casual collectors and serious numismatists. Many collectors specifically seek out the Iowa Quarter as part of a complete state quarter collection, while others appreciate it as a standalone piece of American history. When it comes to value, most 2004 Iowa quarters found in everyday circulation are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, coins that have been well preserved, especially those showing strong detail, minimal wear, and sharp strikes, can carry additional collector interest. Coins that were carefully saved shortly after release often display better surfaces and stronger visual appeal than heavily circulated examples. Collectors also pay close attention to mint characteristics, strike quality, and overall appearance. Some Iowa quarters show especially crisp lettering, strong details in the schoolhouse, and clean field areas, making them more desirable to collectors. Over time, demand for high-quality state quarters has continued to grow as more people complete collections or revisit the series with renewed interest. Another fascinating aspect of the 2004 Iowa Quarter is how it reflects a cultural identity of the state. Iowa is often referred to as a backbone of American agriculture, producing corn, soybeans, and other vital crops that feed the nation and the world. The farmland depicted on the coin is not just symbolic. It represents the daily lives and hard work of generations of Iowans who helped build the American economy. Education has always played a central role in Iowa's history, which is why the one-room schoolhouse was chosen as the focal point of the design. These schools were once common throughout rural America and served as a foundation for community learning. By placing this image on a circulating coin, the U.S. Mint preserved a piece of American heritage that might otherwise fade from memory. The Iowa State Quarter also holds nostalgic value for many collectors who grew up during the state quarters era. For countless Americans, this program was their first introduction to coin collecting. Families searched their change together, children filled coin maps, and collectors eagerly awaited each new state release. The Iowa Quarter represents a time when coin collecting became a nationwide hobby again. Search interest for the Iowa State Quarter remains strong even years after its release. Many people continue to search online for information about the 2004 Iowa Quarter, its design meaning, mint varieties, and collector value. This ongoing curiosity shows how impactful the State Quarters program has been in keeping American coinage relevant and engaging. If you're building a state quarter collection, the Iowa Quarter is an essential piece. Whether you're collecting coins from circulation, assembling a complete 50-state set, or simply holding onto coins that tell a story, this quarter deserves a place in your collection. It represents more than just Iowa. It represents American values of hard work, education, and community. Even today, you can still find 2004 Iowa quarters in pocket change, coin rolls, or old collections. Each one carries the same message it did when first released, that education is a foundation of a strong society. That message continues to resonate, making this coin timeless in its appeal. So next time you come across a 2004 Iowa State Quarter, take a moment to appreciate what it stands for. It's not just a coin. It's a miniature monument to American agriculture, education, and history, struck in metal and passed from hand to hand across the nation. If you enjoy learning about U.S. coins, state quarters, and the hidden for more deep dives into America's most fascinating coins, your pocket change might be worth more knowledge than you ever imagined. Did you know that one of the most powerful symbols of American independence is hiding in plain sight inside your pocket change? Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story, hidden details, historical meaning, and collector value of the Texas State Quarter released in 2004 by the United States Mint. This coin is more than just spare change. It represents pride, independence, and one of the most iconic states in American history. If you collect coins, love U.S. history, or want to know which quarters could be worth more than face value, make sure you watch this entire video because the Texas State Quarter has surprises many people overlook. The Texas State Quarter was released in 2004 as part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever launched by the United States Mint. Texas was the 28th state honored in the series, entering the Union in 1845, and its quarter was officially released into circulation on June 1st, 2004. By the time this coin was issued, millions of Americans were already searching their change daily, hoping to find rare or valuable state quarters. Texas instantly stood out due to its bold and instantly recognizable design. The reverse design of the Texas quarter is simple yet powerful. At the center of the coin is the unmistakable outline of the state of Texas, proudly displayed larger than most other state outlines in the series. Inside the outline sits a famous single star, a symbol that has defined Texas for generations. This star represents Texas's identity as a lone star state, a nickname rooted deeply in its history as an independent republic before joining the United States. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions Texas, 1845, and 2004, clearly marking the year Texas became a state and the year the coin was issued. The simplicity of the Texas quarter design is intentional. Unlike some state quarters filled with complex imagery, Texas chose bold symbolism. The single star reflects independence, strength, and unity, values that Texans proudly associate with their state. This minimalist approach makes the Texas quarter instantly recognizable even to people who are not coin collectors. It also makes a coin extremely popular among beginners who are building their first state quarter collection. Turning the coin over, the obverse side features a familiar portrait of George Washington, which was standard on state quarters issued from 1999 to 2008. Washington's image on the Texas quarter reflects a revised obverse introduced in 1999, marking a new era in modern U.S. coinage. Around Washington's portrait, you will find the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination quarter dollar. While the obverse is common across the series, it plays a key role in identifying mint variations and potential errors. The Texas State Quarter was produced in large numbers, which means it is still commonly found in circulation today. Coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, indicated by small mint marks near Washington's portrait. Because of the high mintage, most Texas quarters you find are worth face value. However, condition plays a huge role in collector interest, and certain examples can be worth significantly more. Uncirculated Texas quarters with strong detail, clean surfaces, and original luster are actively sought after by collectors who want high-quality examples for their collections. Coins that were saved directly from mint rolls in 2004 tend to command higher premiums today compared to heavily circulated examples. Even though this coin is common, demand remains steady due to Texas's popularity and cultural significance. One of the most exciting aspects of the Texas State Quarter is the possibility of mint errors and varieties. Error coins are where collectors often find real value hiding in ordinary change. Some Texas quarters were struck off-center, showing part of the design missing. Others may display double strikes, where parts of the design appear duplicated. There are also cases of die cracks, where raised lines appear across the surface of the coin due to wear on the minting equipment. Another error collectors watch for is clip planches, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a production mistake. These errors are rare, but they do exist, and when discovered, they can dramatically increase the coin's value. Searching through rolls of quarters or pocket change is still a popular activity because error coins can appear unexpectedly. The Texas quarter also holds historical importance beyond coin collecting. Texas is a unique place in American history, having existed as an independent republic from 1836 to 1845. The lone star on the coin is not just decorative, it reflects Texas's past as a sovereign nation. This historical background adds emotional and educational value to the coin, making it a favorite among teachers, historians, and patriotic collectors. From an investment perspective, the Texas State Quarter is considered a long-term collectible rather than a quick profit coin. While most examples are not rare today, collector interest in complete state quarter sets continues to grow. As time passes and high-quality examples become harder to find, demand for well-preserved Texas quarters is expected to remain strong. Many people underestimate modern coins, assuming that only old coins can be valuable. The Texas Quarter proves that modern U.S. coins can still be meaningful, collectible, and potentially valuable under the right circumstances. Coins with exceptional strike quality, minimal wear, or unusual mint characteristics often sell for more than people expect. If you're checking your chain for Texas quarters, pay close attention to the details. Look at the star and the edges of the state outline. Check for unusual marks, doubling in the lettering, or anything that looks different from a normal quarter. Even small differences can matter to collectors. Using good lighting and magnification can make a huge difference when inspecting coins. The Texas State Quarter also remains popular in educational settings. It is often used to teach children about U.S. geography, state history, and coin collecting basics. This continued exposure helps maintain long-term interest in the coin, which supports its collectability over time. Another reason the Texas Quarter remains relevant is Texas itself. As one of the most populous and culturally influential states in the U.S., Texas has a massive following. Collectors from Texas often seek out pristine examples of their state quarter, and that local pride helps keep demand alive year after year. The 50 State Quarters program officially ended in 2008, but its impact is still felt today. It brought millions of people into coin collecting for the first time, and the Texas Quarter played a key role in that success. Its bold design, historical symbolism, and widespread recognition make it one of the most memorable coins in the entire series. Even today, more than 2 decades after its release, the Texas State Quarter continues to circulate, reminding Americans of the rich history behind everyday money. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, this coin deserves a closer look. Before you spend your next quarter, take a moment to check if it's a 2004 Texas State Quarter. You might just be holding a small piece of American history in your hand. And while most are worth face value, the right example in the right condition can be far more special than you expect.